Hello there, it's midday in Nigeria. Welcome to Lunchtime Politics. I'm Neota Igbe. First, the headlines. Days to the off-cycle elections, the Director General of the Police, the Inspector General of Police rather, reads the Riot Act to maybe political thugs, asking that they steer clear of Saturday's governorship elections in Bayelsa, Kogi, and Imo states. An Action Alliance governorship candidate in Kogi State, Olayinka Brimo, receives 250 PDP members from Omala local government area into AA ahead of Saturday's elections. And now to the main stories. We begin with labor matters, where the leadership of the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, and the TUC and that of the Trade Union Congress have declared a nationwide strike beginning Tuesday, November the 14th, 2023, to protest the attack on the president of the NLC, Mr. Joe Ajero, and other labor leaders who were attacked at the protest in Owerri, the Imo State capital. Labor leaders were in Imo State last week for a protest rally against the state government, whom they accused of owing workers' salaries and for failing to honor agreements reached with workers' unions, and allegations the state government had also denied. However, rising from an emergency National Executive Council meeting of the two unions, the leadership of the NLC and TUC expressed their displeasure over the attack on their leaders, declaring a nationwide strike to protest it.
We frown completely at it. It shouldn't have happened. For the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress leading workers to examine and protest the non-payment of salaries of some of the workers in Imo, to protest the declaration of ghost workers when these people actively go to work every day, and several issues that have bedeviled workers in Imo State. He went there without gun. He went there without a single machete, but only to protest. The neck of both congresses frowned at what happened in Imo and resolves as follows: that from 12 midnight today, that we are going to carry out a national action that is going to zero in on Imo State. That will be effective 12 midnight today. Then, on Tuesday next week, there is going to be a total nationwide strike, effective Tuesday next week. Because, as of last week, we issued a directive, and in that directive, we had some series of actions that are stated therein, and none of them, as of today, has been met.
And to election matters, the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Kayode Egbetokun, has read the Riot Act to perpetrators of electoral violence to steer clear of Saturday's governorship elections in Bayelsa, Imo, and Kogi State. He gave the warning during a courtesy visit to Governor Diri at Government House in Yenagoa, where he said the force and other security agencies are fully ready and duty-bound to ensure free and fair elections in the state, and that troublemakers will be made to face the full weight of the law. Meanwhile, Governor Diri says the pledge of the IGP to provide adequate security for the election is an added advantage to the peace and security the state already enjoyed, and warned troublemakers against any violence.
The police and other security agencies have taken a position to be neutral in this election. Our job is to provide security for the election. The police has responsibility to protect the rights of all citizens, including the right to free democratic expression in election of public officials. This duty is sacrosanct, and we are committed to discharging these duties without fear or favor. Our officers have been trained before we are deploying them for election. You will observe that the presence of security agents has started increasing in Bayelsa. The security agents that we are deploying are here to give confidence to the people of Bayelsa State, to give confidence to the electorates, the voters, to come out and vote on the election day.
You said the police and other security agents are committed to a peaceful, free, fair, transparent elections in Bayelsa State. And I think this is what our people want to hear. For us, as a government, we are very, very ready to work with you very closely as a government and even provide support where you ask for to ensure that we do not lose anyone's life and we do not have anybody maimed because of elections. That I'm bidding for a second tenure in office as governor is not worth the life of one citizen of Bayelsa State.
And from Bayelsa State, let's go to Kogi State, where the ambition of the Action Alliance governorship candidate, Mr. Olayinka Brimo, has received a massive boost with the defection of members of the People's Democratic Party's candidate for Omala State constituency into the AA with over 250 members. They're receiving the PDP defectors. Mr. Olayinka says he is happy that the people of Kogi State are beginning to sit up and demand better from politicians. As he says, it is now time to build a better and prosperous future. The leader of the PDP, the Campis, Mr. Emmanuel Solomon, says the people are joining hands with the governorship candidate of the AA, Mr. Brimo, come Saturday to reclaim the state for the people's interest.
By the grace of God, I came with 250, and they are here. You can count them. I came with 250, not just 250. I have 22 former councillors. They are here with me. Yes. 22 former councillors in Omala. They are here with me. I have SSA to the state government. They are here. Yes. I have SSA to the local government. They are here. I have vice chairman, 2 of vice chairman that are here. These things are facts. You will be shocked what will come up. We are tired of the poverty. Yes. We are tired of all promises that are not being fulfilled. We are tired of it. This young man have a long way to go. So I don't see any reasons why he will fail and disappoint today. Some other time he will come up for another thing. Therefore, by the grace of God, November 11/11, we shall be there.
For me to be able to carry out this assignment of wealth creation and wealth distribution, taking out poverty from our state. Now, it's another testament today that people are accepting our message, people understand our message, and people are tired of the poverty in our state. Poverty has ravaged our state for too long. 27 years, over 2 decades of poverty, increased poverty in our communities. And what we're saying is this: it's a matter of urgency for us to focus on wealth creation today. But you cannot create wealth if you don't empower the people. Yes. Our people need to start making money for government to make money. Yes. So what do? We want to help our people to start making money through our START agenda. Solid minerals, tourism, agriculture, and trade as means of driving in cash flow into our economy.
And we're going to be joined by Mr. Olayinka Brimo, who joins us virtually from Kogi State, to look at the elections further and see how it's all going to work out come Saturday, November 11. Mr. Brimo, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, and good afternoon.
You know, when I read that story, it said that your campaign or your desire to reclaim Kogi State received a boost with the numbers of people that decamped to join. But there are those who will be wondering, is it about people decamping to join your train? Is that what is needed to to take back Kogi, as you say?
Of course, we have to win election. And winning election, you require people that will help us to win election. So when you have people decamping, it's a boost. It's a boost because even 1,000 plus 1, it's 1,001. And if you say 1,000 minus 1, it's no longer 1,000. That would be 999. So for every opportunity we have stakeholders joining us, it's a boost for us.
Okay, so how prepared are you and your team for these elections?
In terms of preparation, I don't think there's a time you can ever say, oh, you've done everything, have you done all? You know, we've been working hard 247 to make sure that we cover as many places as we can cover. And I think where we are today, we are ready for the elections. I mean, like several trainings across the state going on, several conversations, structures, running checks, and all of that. Everything, all of those are going on currently.
Your campaign drive, or what you use for your campaign or slogan, is wealth creation. You say you want to create wealth for the indigent and residents of Kogi State. There is that part about how would you create wealth for someone who is most concerned about putting food today on his table, and he's hearing you say, I want to create wealth for you, but he's seeing the other person probably offering him bread for his table today. How's that working out?
All right, when we talk about wealth creation, what it simply means is the fact that we want to help our people to start making money. You can't eat today because of poverty. You have to beg before you eat because of poverty. So when we say we want to help our people to create wealth, it means using the government platform to help them to start making money, creating products and services that we can exchange for money. You know, so that's what it simply means. And when you're talking about people thinking about what they can eat today, they've been doing that for over 2 decades, and they've seen the result that maximum whatever anybody will give you to buy your vote will only last you for a day, 2 days, and then you have another 4 years thereabout to stay in poverty. So I mean, the question is, wouldn't you rather, go for a guaranteed long time and perpetual prosperity, or you're just going to go for the short-term benefit of 1 day or 2 days maximum, and then continue your poverty, and continue to wallow in your poverty? So the reality is this people get to understand that, well, they've been doing this for several years, so this time around, you just persevere for a day or two. After all, you've been suffering for the past 8 years, so you might as well just persevere for just a day or two and embrace wealth creation, wealth distribution agenda, taking you from poverty into prosperity for life. Just like in the case of our regenerative agricultural focus, where 1 hectare will take a whole household out of poverty in 24 to 36 months for life.
I've heard your conversations over time, and I like the direction in which you're going about looking at the future. It's not just about the present. But beyond that, you have also promised peaceful elections on Saturday. What's the guarantee that your other contestants are towing the same line of peaceful, free and fair elections come Saturday?
Well, for us, we've exhibited peaceful conduct all through our campaign, and we only trust in the system. For those that don't want to conduct don't want to participate peacefully in the electoral process, we're trusting the system that the security agencies will do the needful. And I mean, that's because you cannot rely wholly on people, but we can rely on systems, so processes. And that's why we keep emphasizing on processes, putting processes in place, ensuring that those that the authorities will follow all the laid down processes. We believe that the processes that is on ground by the police, the DSS, and the other security agencies should suffice in terms of ensuring that peaceful conduct is maintained throughout the electoral processes.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Olayinka Brimore, governorship candidate of the Action Alliance for the Kogi State governorship elections come November 11. We wish you well on Saturday evening as you continue preparing for that day. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
We will take a moment on lunchtime politics and return to look at other happenings in the space of politics. Tempers flared at the venue of the INEC stakeholders meeting in the Imo State capital on Tuesday as the Labour Party, the People's Democratic Party, and 4 other opposition political parties staged a walkout. The incident followed the request of the INEC National Commissioner Kenneth Ukagu requesting journalists to leave the stakeholders meeting after the initial media briefing. This directive was opposed by these opposition political parties as the hall became rowdy. Calm, however, returned after the National Commissioner asked journalists to return. The opposition political parties are demanding the redeployment of the INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner in the state, Professor Sylvia Agu. And staying in Imo State, the state governor and governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Hope Uzodimma, is promising that his government will consolidate on the achievements made in his first tenure in infrastructure and ensure that all ongoing projects in the state are completed if re-elected. The governor made the disclosure when his campaign train visited Ihite Uboma, Onuimo, and Idato North local government areas to woo voters ahead of the elections on Saturday. And we are being joined by a member of the Hope Uzodimma campaign, Mr. Frank White. Thank you for joining us, Mr. White. White, are you there? Oh, well, we're hoping we can hear from Mr. White, who is a member of the Hope Uzodimma campaign organization, and he's joining us from Owerri, the Imo State capital. Mr. White, are you there now? Okay, while we wait for him to come back on, let's just look at what's going on in other areas. This time it's in Rivers State, where the Ijaw National Congress has condemned their alleged involvement in the affairs of Rivers State by the FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike. The group made this known during a press briefing on Tuesday in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital. Speaking to the press, the spokesman of the group, Ibiosia Nath Sukubo, also used the opportunity to announce the grow-up support for Governor Siminalayi Fubara.
This statement follows another interactive session that is no problem belief. So my question would be, as a way of remediation and support from Rivers people, we have Siminalayi Fubara as the executive governor of this state. Eyes up! Yeah. The lack of smooth transition and continuity is taking diminutive toll of the state. Hence, numerous projects have been abandoned. If the current governor decides to rejuvenate moribund projects, he becomes an enemy to a malignant emperor who wants the state as his estate, and that is totally unacceptable by the good people of Rivers State. This is a fight for justice, and it goes beyond ethnic coloration. We are therefore calling on all the elders who had proclaimed support for Wike. We are confused if Wike is still the governor of the state. Instead of dispensation of justice, to tread with caution before the youth will engulf them like hurricane or tsunami.
And moving away from Rivers State, let's go on to Plateau, where Governor Caleb Mutfwang has presented the draft appropriation bill of 295.4 billion naira to the Plateau State House of Assembly that will define all estimates of the revenue and expenditure for the 2024 fiscal year. Presenting the bill to the legislators at the Hollow Chambers of the Assembly Complex in Jos for appropriation, the governor says the focus is predicated on good governance, peace, security, and justice, revamping agricultural transformation, education, and human capital development, as well as infrastructure and industrialization, among others. Oh, we still do not have Mr. Frank Nwete here with us, but that's where we'll say we'll end Lunchtime Politics today. I want to thank you for letting us be a part of your day. Enjoy the rest of it. I'm Neo Taigwe. Bye-bye.